Welcome to Deadline Horror News for the week of September 9th, 2021. I'm Josh, and of course I'm joined here with Donnie.
Hey.
And the Professor Smoke.
What's up?
Will couldn't join us, but we are from the All-American Spookshow Horror Podcast. And of course, as always, we want to remind you to like and subscribe to the channel down below there and click on the bell to be notified when we upload new videos. So these come out every Thursday, so you don't want to miss one. We want you to become a supporter of the Spook Show, please, by going over to patreon.com/AA Spook Show and sign up to become a patron. We have levels starting at $1, $3 on up to like a crazy $1,000 Spook Show Insanity level, which, you know, you never know. Some mysterious benefactor may come along one of these days, but I doubt it. The main attraction over there, though, is every Tuesday we put out a new video minisode, and that has the popular segment, The Library of the Professor, where Professor Smoke takes a curated selection from his personal collection there behind him, and he talks about it and gives his rating. So that's always a good time to be had every Tuesday over on Patreon. I want to remind you that episode 72 of the podcast is out now. That just came out this past Monday, and it's our latest Spook Show Spotlight top Labor Day horror releases. So I think we've got a pretty good reception from that one so far. That was a pretty cool episode to do with the kind of going over the numbers of like the most successful Labor Day releases that have ever come out as far as horror releases are concerned. And I'll point it out before I continue, which we'll dive deep into the box office numbers here in a little bit, here in a few minutes. But just in that episode, we pointed out that Rob Zombie's first Halloween movie held the Labor Day weekend record. And I think that was just for all movies, period, that not just horror. That just got beat this past weekend. So right after we talk about it, literally a record that it held for what? How long ago was that? Almost
2007.
Yeah, almost 15 years, give or take. As soon as we mention it, the record falls. So we'll get into that here shortly when we go over the box office. But
yeah, it's your fault.
Yeah, I had to bring it up. Rob Zombie shall curse us forevermore. Episode 73 is our next movie review episode, and that will be coming out next Monday at 6 p.m. East. And we're going to be talking Maximum Overdrive from 1986. And we also welcome a special guest, Michael Felsher, who is the owner-operator of Red Shirt Pictures, who worked on the Vestron Video Collector Series Blu-ray release. He's basically the guy that produced and, put together all those special features and documentaries and stuff that are on that disc. So you want to come back Monday and check out that interview. It went really good, and everybody want to hear that. So like I said, that comes out next Monday, September 13th, 6 p.m. East. Unless you're a Patreon, a member of our Patreon. If you're a patron at least the $5 level, you're already listening to it because you get it early. It's already up for your listening pleasure. So if you want to hear it early before everyone else, go subscribe at the $5 or up level, and you'll be listening to it right now. So Donnie, it's time for the latest deadlines and horror news. What you got?
Oh man, it's very heavy heart. Well, it's not just us, but Lovecraft Country actor Michael K. Williams passed away this past week. He was most recently nominated for a Primetime Emmy for Lovecraft Country, but he was also known for his TV roles in Boardwalk Empire and The Wire, as well as his film roles as in 12 Years a Slave and Motherless Brooklyn. He's got over 120 IMDb credits. His final role was in the upcoming film 892, which is now in post-production. Michael K. Williams was 54. So,
yeah, that's unfortunate, man. I think most people are probably going to remember him from The Wire. That was probably the one thing, but that one surprised me when I saw that the other day, and it wasn't expected. We won't go into the details of what happened there. I'm sure you can find that out, but yeah, that sucks, man. You hate to hear somebody getting cut down in their prime like that, and that's such a young age, so that sucks.
Yeah.
He was good in Lovecraft Country, too. I don't know if you guys ever sat down and watched that yet, but he was really good in that.
I have not. I always stumble over saying Lovecraft, just like we've done.
Lovecraft.
No.
It is good, though. It's a different spin on, like, H.P. Lovecraft stories and, but it's very well done. And I think we saw a little while back that they didn't renew that for a second season. So that was disappointing. But, that one season of that, though, man, like I highly recommend it. You should check it out.
Cool. Yeah, and actually, the next headline or deadline, whatever, it's actually one of my most loathed movies, but loathed series. But the Chucky poster. If you've seen actually, yeah, you'll see it here. It actually takes they've released that poster, and it's being the TV series is actually going to be released on Sci-Fi and USA on October 12th, I believe. So it's basically described as a fresh take on the franchise with exploration into Chucky's character, which is kind of unique to the TV series format.
Yeah, you can look on the screen there and see the. I put this poster up so everybody can take a look. Because I don't know if you had seen this yet or not, but yeah, it looks like it's going to be interesting as far as like they're bringing back the creator. You know, he's a part of it, and like I think a lot of the original people that were involved in the series are going to be in this. So
yeah, unfortunately,
yeah. For whatever reason, Donnie has a hate boner for Chucky, but
a hate boner. Oh goddamn! But yeah. So Jennifer Tilly, some other people got nothing else to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the idea. Like, well, you got nothing better to do. Come on back.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, come on back. But, so yeah, they're gonna suck it up on October 12th.
Well, we'll see.
Yes.
The rest of us will keep an open mind.
Yeah, I will not. I will not. But it's all right. No, it's cool.
My mind is already made up.
Yeah, sometimes you do have to keep an open mind, but it's sort of like and it's very similar to I guess real life. When someone annoys the hell out of you, they can do nothing right. So yeah.
Oh well.
Oh, here's a question for you: would you pick Child's Play, the first one, or Crawlers to watch again?
Into the Dark Crawlers.
Yeah.
It's a hard man. I would take Child's Play.
I mean, that's a very easy one for me, and I'm sure for Josh, but it might be a hard one for
you. Yeah, I'll take Child's Play over Crawlers.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's good. That's good at least.
Yeah.
And then the fans of Into the Dark Crawlers, a single tear just went down their feet.
Fuck that. Yeah, fuck them. Now, I don't want to say fuck them, but, that sounds awful.
They might enjoy this video. So.
Shit.
Just the thought the thought that there might be some fans of Crawlers out there gives me multiple tears coming down my face.
Yeah, man, yeah, bloody ones.
Oh, we got some feedback that there were fans of that episode or whatever of Into the Dark.
Yeah, like I'm sure they hate us.
After we crapped on it, yeah, there were some fans that crawled out. So
yeah, they're like, hey,
hey, we like it.
Yeah.
Do you have any other headlines there, Donnie?
Yeah, just kind of get lost on a hate tangent. But no, actually, most of us grew up wrestling fans, and this is actually kind of a cool thing. WWE is releasing a interactive horror movie. It's going to be based on what's called Escape the Undertaker. So yeah, it's going to be on Netflix. It's going to star obviously the Undertaker, WWE legend, and also the beloved faction, the New Day, which is Big E, Xavier Woods, and Kofi Kingston. Mm-hmm. So basically, the synopsis is the Undertaker has set a trap for the New Day in his mansion, which unsurprisingly is a extremely haunted house. And it's packed with these supernatural challenges. And it's the interactive part is basically it's up to the viewers to decide the New Day's fate.
So it's like a choose your own adventure for
yeah. It could it has potential. You know?
I know Netflix has done a few things like that. I think what's
Black Mirror?
Black Mirror.
Yeah,
they've done one like that a couple years ago. So
so that's releasing October 5th on Netflix.
Yeah, so I'll be about that for sure.
Definitely. Definitely.
All right, so last week we had 4 horror conventions to talk about, although there was a 5th that apparently we missed. It was Mad Monster Expo, which is right up the street from where we live.
The backyard when we moved.
And Smoke, you actually went. Did you have a good time there?
Yeah, we had a good time. It was that Jeffrey Combs was there. Now, this is the first time I'd seen Jeffrey Combs since 1992, and I mentioned that to him. Mm-hmm. I saw him at Fangoria's Weekend of Horrors in '92 in LA with Argento, and Clive Barker was there at that one. He actually remembered that one because I don't know, when I mentioned Argento, I think I brought it back to him for him. So, and he mentioned that that was when Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell were there promoting Army of Darkness. So we met him this time, and then also Ken Foray was there from Dawn of the Dead and From Beyond, and actually he was also at that 1992 convention in LA. Also, Shawnee Smith, know her from the Saw movies.
Yeah.
And I don't know if y'all remember Summer School, right? Seen Summer School before?
Oh yeah, we've talked about that a few times. Yeah. It seems like it comes up at least every 2 months.
Yeah, that's right. We were talking about doing it. We have to do it on the show at some point.
Yeah, we just need to pull off the Band-Aid and get it over with.
The interesting thing about her is she's from Orangeburg, South Carolina, which is where I'm from. And even though she didn't live here all that much, she was born here and then comes back to visit and all that stuff. So that was interesting.
I'm sure it was the usual bits with the cosplay contest and all that stuff going on too, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
it was a good time.
That's pretty much the normal at most of these conventions. But like I said, there was 4 that we mentioned, and that was the 5th. That was this past weekend. Well, I've got 5 on the list. I hope I'm not missing any, but I've got 5 this week. And this actually crosses international territories here. The first one we got is in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. The Calgary Expo Limited Edition 2021. Guests up there include Ron Perlman, James Marsters, Matt Ryan. He's the guy that played Constantine in the they had that Constantine series on NBC a few years ago, and then he showed up on those DC CW shows. But he's going to be there. For more information on tickets and other guests, because there's a handful of others there, you can go to fanexpohq.com/Calgary Expo for all the information there. Then we swing out west to Denver, Colorado. We got the Colorado Festival of Horror 2021. Guests there include Brinky Steve. I guess that's how you say it. It's either Brink Stevens, BRN.
Just Brink without the E pronounced.
Okay, Brink Stevens. She's from Slumber Party Massacre. And Vincent Price's daughter, Victoria Price, apparently she was supposed to be there in person, but I guess because of maybe COVID, I'm not sure exactly the reasons. She's not going to be there, but she's still going to be there virtually. And they're going to be doing some virtual stuff with her. So, you can go over to COFOhorror.com. That's COFOhorror.com for tickets and more information about that stuff with Victoria Price and all that. But that sounded pretty cool. And one smaller convention to note before the 2 bigger ones, Tidewater Horror Convention 2021 in Norfolk, Virginia. By the way, all of these conventions are Friday through Sunday. I failed to mention. Guests there include Lisa Loring. She was in the original Addams Family series. Paul T. Taylor, Danny Hassel. You can get tickets and all the info there at TidewaterHorrorConvention.com. Now, the 2 bigger ones going on this weekend, one in Cincinnati, Ohio, called Horror Hound Weekend Cincinnati 2021. Tons of guests at this one. Not quite as many as the other one that I'm about to talk about, but there's a lot of guests here, a lot of good ones, including Robert Englund, Michael Rooker, Nick Castle, Daniel Harris. Tons of others. There's going to be an 80s dance party and karaoke. So you can go over to horrorhoundweekend.com for all the ticket information and all that guest list. It's a pretty big list. And the last one that I'll mention here is in Dallas, Texas Frightmare Weekend 2021. Guests there include Malcolm McDowell, Corey Taylor from Slipknot, Tom Savini, Dee Wallace. They're going to have a celebration of the Night of the Living Dead from 1990. Tom Savini's version of Night of the Living Dead. Or I guess it's kind of a remake, right, Smoke?
Yeah, 1990 remake. Yep.
I guess they're going to have a panel or some kind of reunion type thing with Tom Savini, Tony Todd, and 3 or 4 others that were in the movie. They're all going to be there. And then they're going to have another celebration of Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 with Mihalioff, Hodge, Butler, Ken Faree, Kane Hodder, Burr, pretty much like a good portion of the cast. And, people behind the scenes and whatnot are going to be there for this. So couple cool, celebrations there and tons of good guests. I mean, like, I'm just scratching the surface at the guest list there in Dallas this weekend. So that's going to be a big one. So you can go to TexasFrightmareWeekend.com for tickets and all the info there. Quickly, I'll go down the box office from this past weekend since we teased it earlier. Rob Zombie's Halloween is no longer the biggest money-making Labor Day weekend release. Number 10 this weekend was The Night House, in its third week, made $521,000. Number 9, Black Widow. Number 8, The Suicide Squad. Number 7, Respect. Number 6, Don't Breathe 2, made $2.3 million in its fourth week. Number 5, Paw Patrol the movie. Number 4, Jungle Cruise. Number 3, Free Guy. Number 2, Candyman, in its second week, made $10.3 million for a total so far of 38.8 in 2 weeks. So that's really good. But number 1, and now the new record holder for biggest Labor Day weekend release, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, the latest Marvel Cinematic Universe release, made $75.3 million. So it smoked.
That's some impressive COVID numbers. I mean, the era of COVID.
That might I didn't see that pop up anywhere, but that might have broke the record as far as an opening weekend during COVID, man. Post pandemic, it might have. Don't hold me to it, but if it didn't, it's got to be damn close. That's pretty damn impressive. Rob Zombie's Halloween is no longer number 1. It belongs to Shang-Chi. New releases this week. Just today on Shudder, the new movie Martyrs Lane just released. Tomorrow in theaters on HBO Max, Malignant. That's the big release this weekend. Also tomorrow, in limited release, Bad Candy. And on video on demand tomorrow, The Manson Brothers Midnight Zombie Massacre. I don't know anything about it, but it sounds interesting enough to check out.
Manson, zombies, massacres, yeah.
Yeah, I'm all in. All these key words. It's hitting all the high notes. Next Tuesday, September 14th on DVD, Howling Village releases and Censor release. And then next Wednesday, September 15th on Netflix, the new one called Night Books. I guess that's pretty much it for this week. I mean, unless you guys have anything else to mention before we tap out here.
That's all I had.
I guess that'll do it. So. All right, so just come back next Thursday for another Deadline Horror News. Make sure to go over to patreon.com/AASpookShow for our new minisodes, Library of the Professor, every Tuesday. And, of course, every Monday at 6 p.m. East, a new episode of the All-American Spookshow Horror Podcast, wherever you get your fine podcasts. So for Donnie, Professor Smoke, and, of course, for Will, I'm Josh. We are the All-American Spookshow Horror Podcast. We will see you next week.